Motorcycle racers typically replace their bike's standard exhaust system with a high-performance one which emits exhaust gases faster, clearing the way for new fuel and air to enter the engine's combustion chamber, generating more power and better traction, which produces greater speed on the racetrack. This high-performance aftermarket exhaust system isn't any louder than your standard exhaust system, yet it delivers up to 30% more power due to its more efficient design. Rather than steel construction, it's made primarily of titanium, which is more durable and weighs half as much. The exhaust system has two main components: the muffler, which dampens sound, and the header, which routes exhaust gases from the engine to the muffler. The header's tubing is made from a super thin strip of titanium that's 6 inches wide. It enters a forming machine, in which 14 stations of rollers apply tons of pressure to progressively curve the edge of the strip upward until they meet at the top. The formed tube, 2 inches in diameter, then enters a chamber. Inside, a welder heats the top until the edges fuse together into a solid seam. After the 330-yard-long tube exits the welding chamber, a powerful carbide guillotine blade chops it into several shorter tubes. Then workers mount each of those shorter tubes onto a computer-guided machine which bends it to the shape required for several exhaust systems. Workers then separate each system's tubing with a circular saw. Like the guillotine before, the saw has a carbide blade. An ordinary steel blade isn't hard enough to saw through titanium. A welder assembles the tubes to the other header components, among them the collar and flange, which connect the header to the engine, and the bulbous resonance chamber, also made of titanium. It does a pre-muffler sound dampening. Once the parts are welded and inspected, the header is finished. They begin assembling the muffler by joining the two halves of its resonance chamber. The parts must fit with a tight seal to prevent exhaust gases from leaking out. They set the resonance chamber on a welding fixture. Take a ring made of perforated titanium and weld it to the chamber opening. This ring allows a specific amount of gases to enter the resonance chamber at a time. Next, they weld a sound absorption tube to the resonance chamber. They wrap the sound absorption tube in a fiberglass blanket. The muffler's housing is made of a titanium sheet which a machine shapes into a canister. At each edge, they peel back the film protecting the surface from scratches. Then, with an automated welder, join the edges with a strong seam. Then they remove the protective film entirely and electrically charge the canister in a mild chemical solution for about a minute. This anodizing, as it's called, changes the color of the titanium and hardens the surface, making it more durable. After attaching an aluminum mounting bracket to the canister, they insert the sound absorption tube. Then secure the canister to the resonance chamber with screws. They apply the manufacturer's sticker, and the muffler portion of the exhaust system is finished. To install the exhaust system, you bolt the header to the motor, which is toward the front of the motorcycle. Then mount the muffler to the other end of the header. The muffler bolts to the bike chassis via a bracket on the canister. Now, the bike is ready to hit the racetrack.